T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Global Watchman News. My name is Lori Swan. I hope you guys are all doing well. If you are in the live chat, we do ask that you keep it family friendly. There will be moderators in there to make sure that we stay within the terms of service put forth to us by the platform you're utilizing today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Take a minute to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know we go live. So this is a kind of an impromptu, not a regularly scheduled broadcast. We are still getting ready for tonight, but something came, as it always does. Something comes through our news feed, and we think that it's newsworthy, so we talk about it. So Ernie and I decided to pop up. Hey, Ernie.
Hello, Lori. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Blessed and highly favored amongst God and men.
Amen. That's right.
Even though I got a broke back, but not the mountain kind.
Okay.
Regular back.
Ernie hurt his back last week, and he's kind of moving around pretty slow, huh?
Yeah, slower than them molasses going up a hill on a cold day.
Oh, I know it. I know. All right, so Ernie, literally, just when you think you've seen it all, a story like this comes through, and I don't even know where to start with this. Hold on a minute. Let me pull it up. Let's start with pulling it up. Oh.
You know, T-1000 comes to mind.
Yeah. Terminator 2. Absolutely. Terminator 2. I was thinking about when I was deciding to name the show, I was like, should I put a Terminator reference in it? Should I? But I just thought that shape-shifting robot escapes was probably going to pique people's interest a little bit more.
Yeah.
Shape-shifting robot escapes miniature prison cell by liquefying before re-solidifying. Yeah, nothing to see here, folks. Move along. If your name is John or Sarah Connor, this might be a moment to start covering your tracks. A robot that can shift between solid and liquid states has been filmed escaping from a miniature jail cell with bars too close together to allow it to leave in solid form. The creators claim they were inspired by the sea cucumber's capacity to alter their tissue stiffness, but the scene is just a little too familiar to Robert Patrick liquefying his way through the metal hospital bars in Terminator 2 for us to believe them. We even see the famous reabsorption of the little bit left behind. Hard-bodied robots are common, even if they have yet to reach the capacities of science fiction films. I tend to disagree with that. But their soft-bodied counterparts can get into tight spaces, but what they can do there is limited, and they are also difficult to control. A team led by Dr. Shengfeng Pan of the Chinese University of Hong Kong has made a robot that can swap states to whichever is most needed, with a video that sums it up. The prison escape may trigger our fears, but robots like these could also provide life-saving services others cannot. Let's take a listen. I guess there's no volume on it.
That robot originally set up as a Lego.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Oh, wait, there's more. The rest of it comes out. Yeah. Now they're trying to sell it to us as, this is
It goes to wonder whether or not that was just like an animation, but nothing surprises me anymore in these days.
not at all. No.
So, and movies have a tendency to foretell us what's going to happen in the future. When we look at those Terminator movies and how people are talking about the advancement of artificial intelligence, that this doesn't go beyond our realm. I mean, we can comprehend this now as far as stuff like this being created in the last days. Stuff like this can be able to manipulate itself for its own advantage. Now, who can say that this robot that they've created isn't a sentient being on its own?
Okay. So we know already that, they have technology that is far more advanced than what they show us and what they reveal to us. So the fact that they're even showing us this, we have to assume through past experience that, this is a probably a 20-year-old video that they're showing us.
Most likely. I mean, the technology that we have right now has been in existence 20 to 30, maybe even longer than that, years back. So this stuff right here could appear as current technology because we're used to the technologies that we have right now. This stuff has been in existence dozens of years.
Yeah. Tweevers says it looks like stop motion, claymation, animation. Yeah, it does.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying. I mean, I have to tend to believe that due to the information that we know of, and the sources that we have, that this is probably a 20-year-old video that we're watching. All right, they are just now revealing this technology to us. But come on, we know for a fact that this technology is far beyond the scope of this already.
Absolutely. I mean, we're looking at nanotechnology in motion. I mean, all of us have heard of nanotechnology. All of us has heard about graphene and how that stuff can be manipulated using computer algorithms. So if that stuff exists, this stuff can exist as well. It can come together, form itself as a solid or a liquid.
Exactly.
I mean, to our naked eye, it looks like liquid, but under a microscope, they could be a bunch of solids combining together into one viewable form, such as the little Lego guy.
Right. This right here is a science library, and it says programmable matter, the nanoparticle atom in DNA bond. It says colloidal crystal engineering with DNA has led to significant advances in bottom-up material synthesis and a new way of thinking about fundamental concepts in chemistry. Not only do we have things like this that we know about, but it takes me back to Roswell. There was a Major Jesse Marcel Jr., and he was at Roswell, and he discovered a metal material at the Roswell crash site, which was super thin, and if you crumbled it up, it would just return to its normal shape. So, and this right here, I found an article where his wife says that here, let me pull it up for you guys. And I'll put all these links in the description below for you guys to take a look at. But it says Dr. Jesse Marcel Jr., who claimed he handled debris from the 1947 crash of the alien spaceship near Roswell, New Mexico, has died at the age of 76, doing what he loved best, reading a book about UFOs. Denise Marcel said her father was found dead in his home in Helena Saturday, less than 2 months after making his last trip to Roswell. Over the past 35 years, Marcel Jr. appeared on TV shows, documentaries, and radio shows, was interviewed for magazine articles and books, and traveled the world lecturing about his experience at Roswell. And the article goes on to say that she truly believed that her father was telling the truth. And here it is. Here's the metal that he found, and that he reported that you would crumple it up and it would return to its normal state. And I personally believe that this was programmable, not so much goo, but it was a programmable metal.
Yeah, programmable fallen angel technology.
Correct.
However you want to label it, it's not coming from man. Let's just say that.
Exactly. And we don't believe in aliens here. They're fallen angels. They're interdimensional, not extraterrestrial. It's pretty funny. Okay, so black programmable goo was discovered, I believe. Now, don't quote me on this. It was either it was either South America or Central America. It was discovered in a puddle, and it was immediately taken over by the U.S. military. The U.S. military went in and confiscated what was in this puddle. If you guys aren't familiar with Nicholson 1968, he has a great video. I'll try to find it and link it in the description below for you guys to watch his thing on black goo. But it says the biggest threat to humanity, black goo. There is a question, the answer to which could change the world. It is a simple question, terrifying question. The answer is, what the hell happened to graphene? Maybe you remember graphene. Got big, 10-ish years ago, around the time when 2 University of Manchester researchers won the Nobel Prize for discovering it. That in scare quotes, because because all they really did in the now famous example of serendipity in the science was peel a piece of the literal sticky tape off the graphite and stuff in literal pencils and noticed, basically by accident, that the residual flakes comprise a single layer of carbon atoms. Behold, graphene, the world's first 2D material. And that's in quotes because, well, you can still see it with the naked eye. So obviously it got some dimensionality of the third kind to it. Technologies aside, graphene was a miracle material, the carbonaceous coup. It was as if some alien had handed us the keys to the future. Stiff but stretchy, microthin but super strong, translucent but impermeable, and transistorizable to boot. Immediately, scientists promised us the stars, flying cars, vicious drug delivery droids, elevators from Earth to the freaking space station. The visions and predictions of sci-fi writers and tech gurus were, off the charts. And they go on and they talk about it, how it's like, origami. You make a little creature out of it, and it puts back into its original state. So this is something that they've been working with, looking at. And where's have we heard recently this whole graphene thing? Well,
talking about that stuff we're not supposed to talk about.
Talking about that stuff we're not supposed to talk about. Exactly. So they're putting this stuff, this programmable goo, this stuff that, I don't believe we're supposed to have, and putting it in that thing we're not supposed to talk about. What could possibly happen?
Oh, turning us into robots.
It's programmable. It could be self-replicating.
Transhumanism at its finest.
Transhumanism, yeah, the merging of clay and iron. Book of Daniel. What could possibly go wrong? I don't know.
Well, basically lose our souls and be controlled by the state. I mean, they're trying to do that through television and media.
Oh, we saw that video
by all means
the other day where it was talking about we're programmable beings.
Yep, we're hackable animals. That's
hackable
all we
animals.
to those people who are in cahoots with Satan himself.
Right. We've gone from useless eater to hackable animals.
Right. One of the main proponents of WEF said under his breath during an interview, try not to talk too much because people don't need to know about Satan, something like that. And it goes to show you where their agenda is.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you watch that interview and you're not shook to your core, then there's something wrong with you.
Absolutely. I mean, all the things that, is come up in the news lately pretty much is soul shaking. Oops. Hold on a minute. Sorry, guys. I pulled up the wrong one. I'm sorry. While I'm talking, I'm pulling up for tonight, but I do apologize for that. Yeah, I mean, everything we've been talking about lately, what's been uncovered, what we've been seeing in the news, it's shaking me personally, and not shaking me to the core, but I'm actually surprised by a lot of stuff I'm seeing, and it takes a lot to surprise me.
It's not only surprising to you and I, but the fact of the matter is the majority of society is oblivious to what's going on. Absolutely. And that's the most surprising to me, at least. Like, God provided you with a brain to analyze things, to question things.
And I think a lot of that has to do, though, Ernie, with fear.
It could be. It could be the case when it comes to fear, but we also have a subconscious region, and it's hard to believe that people don't have the mental capacity to think in the back of their minds that there's something nefarious is going on.
Right.
I mean, we see polls after polls after polls of people answering surveys and them saying that the majority thinks that there's something going on behind the scenes. But yet they refuse to search for the truth and find out what it really is going on. So one, they can prepare, to warn others. And that's a problem with our
Those with eyes
society.
to see and ears to hear, though.
Exactly.
That's what goes along with, you gotta, those with eyes to see and ears to hear, more so than I think anything lately. This has been coming to mind.
Yeah, right, Lori. Absolutely.
Yeah, cognitive
People
dissonance.
want us to go back to normal, and they hang on to that hope that we're going to achieve that. But the Bible predicts that things are going to escalate. Things are going to get worse. And it's not going to get better. The only time it's going to get better when Jesus comes home to his bride.
Amen. That's right.
And
And don't forget, cognitive dissonance goes along with
Stockholm syndrome.
It does. Oh, just when you think you've seen it all, some things, some more things pop up, and it's interesting. I was reading something today that I found, I ran across while I was trying to research this. There's a Roswell report out. It's 994 pages long, so obviously we're not going to read it. But it says, fact versus fiction in the New Mexico desert. Headquarters of the United States Air Force was written in 1995. And let me see if I can pull up the table of contents. There's a lot of things that have been cited in it. And again, I'll put it in the description area below for you guys to read. It's quite interesting. A little bit of light reading for you.
Just some bathroom material.
Some bathroom material. 1,000 pages. What, and I do. I read these things, when I'm here alone and I'm trying to sleep, can't sleep, and I don't want to watch a movie. I don't want to watch Netflix. So I start reading these things. I think the next thing I'm going to read is probably going to be the Warren Report again. I've read it years and years and years ago, but I think I'm going to start reading it again, just for shits and giggles. Because we know,
you got to keep yourself informed.
I keep myself occupied somehow. Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah. So
either you're learning or you're dying.
That's right. That's right. So. All right. So yeah, I said this was going to be short. Said it was going to be about 30 minutes. Just wanted to bring this information to you guys. Put in the link. I'll put all the links in the description below for you guys. Tonight, Big John's going to be back with us. Talk about FEMA pastors. Talk about how they're going to manipulate large congregations, 501c3 church. Guys, if you're going to a 501c3 church, I can't emphasize enough to you, get out of her, come out of her, my people.
Or, I want to add on to that. Keep a watchful eye.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Test the fruits.
Yeah.
Because a lot of churches are run by the government, but a lot of people are a lot of churches that are on 501c3 is prepared for what's to come as well.
Yeah.
So always test the fruits. Make sure they show thyself approved.
Exactly. And I found out something, and I'm not going I'm not going to name names of all the FEMA pastors, but I came across one in particular who I used to follow quite often. And I really enjoyed her. I don't know if you guys know her, but her name is Anita Fuentes. I don't know what it's now. Yep. She's divorced now. Open Your Eyes People is her ministry. She's a FEMA pastor, guys.
Really?
Yes.
I watched her. I followed her for a long time.
I did too. And as I was researching for tonight's broadcast, I came across that she is a FEMA pastor. Yes. Mm-hmm. So
controlled opposition.
Yeah, and we're going to get into why we just said controlled opposition when it comes to the FEMA pastors. We're going to get into why that is. We're going to get into how they're going to twist scripture, where scripture says, I think it's Hebrews where it says to obey your leaders. There's a little bit more to that. They're twisting it, and we're going to get into what their job is going to be in these last days and when the time comes. So, Big John tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting conversation. So make sure you tune in. I'm probably going to be going off on this, being a preacher myself.
Yeah.
When we are called as believers to have a strong faith, free will, and a sound mind. 2, to call out those who transgress against the Bible and against God. And
yeah,
I'm just going to forewarn you guys. I am going to be calling out a bunch of people. I don't care about your feelings. Forget your feelings. I'm going to speak boldly, and you're probably going to see another side of me that you've never seen, and I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to keep it within the terms of service so we don't get struck down.
Right.
But you're going to find out who Ernie really, really is, especially when it comes to my faith and my God, and you committing acts of sin against my God and completely denying him thereof.
Exactly. And, for people that says, oh, we're not supposed to judge, baloney. Judge not is one of the most twisted and misled quotes of the Bible. We are commanded to judge with righteous judgment. We are commanded. We make judgments every day. Literally, when you go to the grocery store, you make a judgment. You decide which banana looks better than the other one. That's a judgment. When you're picking out your clothes, you decide I'm going to wear this versus this. It's a judgment. We are commanded to judge accordingly with the church also. And the Bible commands us to call out preachers and pastors that are not within their biblical guidelines. I called out Pastor Gregory Locke, biblically called him out, and specifically stated as to why he should step down from the pulpit. That's how you are supposed to do things biblically. And we're going to do that tonight as well.
Absolutely. And I want to add on to the fact that in order for you to judge, you need to take the speck out of your own eye. Absolutely. Which means if the subject matter in question needs to be judged, you better make sure that you have absolved yourself from that sin.
Absolutely. That's right. So, all right. So that's going to be tonight, 8:00. Link is already up. Go over there, put your reminders on so you get your notification. And we will see you then. Remember, guys, we put all this information out there for you guys so that you can, make the judgment calls for yourself and your family. We don't do it for fear, because fear is not from God, correct? For what is it, 2 Timothy?
2 Timothy 1.
That's right. And so we just want to put this information out there so that you can be better prepared for the things that are coming. And information like this, like the show we did today, just kind of, because, to see what's on the horizon, see what Satan's got in store for us, and to see what things that, don't always believe what you see, hear, or even see at times. See, hear, smell, taste. Don't always believe it. So we will see you all again tonight. I want to thank everybody in the chat room. I want to thank all of our moderators. And until next time, guys, remember, eyes open, no fear.